Hello.
Hi.
Oof, that was loud.
I am very loud.
We're here today
Once again.
to talk about stuff.
I mean, it's always going to be us three.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a special guest once.
Every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a blue moon.
See that moon yesterday? It was looking fat.
It was amazing.
Dude, I went out to get something from my car and I was like, yo, it's so bright outside. And then I looked up and I was like, yo.
And
that was
like,
Hey, what's up?
Hey, anyway.
Can I get your number?
Yeah, the
Y'all
moon wanted
here
to know
with
that.
Jinx.
Say. Maybe.
What was that?
I was like, oh, finger guns? Okay.
You're the most awkward one out of all of us.
And
B.
yay.
Yay.
Was that ASMR? Yeah.
ASMR?
No, it was like drum roll.
Drum roll,
okay,
please.
yeah, okay.
SMR.
So, what we gonna talk about today?
Ted Bundy.
The documentary.
Well, the first episode at least.
On Netflix.
Because that's the amount that he watched.
You know there's a movie coming out with Zac Efron?
Yes. People were like...
we should have waited.
People were pissed.
Yeah.
That they were like, why are you using Zac Efron?
That's not what I saw.
Well, that one, I was like, people were like, why are you using him? He's too good looking. But that was the point, was Ted Bundy was good looking.
Okay, no. In my opinion, he was
no.
I'm not digging the unibrow.
He's looking really crusty in that one
He'd
photo.
be looking like the very hungry caterpillar.
Oh my
Oh my god,
god.
you're right. That eyebrow
No,
though.
I didn't.
Yeah, definitely not.
I did
One.
not.
Now, did you see the picture of the one he's talking about? With the crusty eyebrows?
Yeah. But I didn't find him attractive at all.
No, we agreed that he wasn't all that. Well, because that was the 70s.
Yeah, but there was
You
other
guys-
men.
Well, see-
Okay, there is a point. Did you watch all of them?
No, I only watched the first one.
Oh, I thought you watched all of them. Okay,
No.
so
I'm going to get to it. I can probably watch
there's
it all
a
tomorrow.
point where I think it showed his mom and some other guy, and I think that was like his brother.
In the first episode,
now
they
he
showed
was
his mom.
fine,
Maybe.
but not him.
I will concur with that when I see it.
Okay. So as we were saying,
We're back.
I'm gonna interject really quick on the whole topic of him being handsome. What I think it is that, well, yes, I don't find him personally attractive.
A friend of mine made a good point though. Some of his pictures, he looked decent, not like, oh, I'll jump on that. It's like I don't mind holding his hand, but in most of his pictures, he's not good looking.
Man, I thought you guys saw the whole stuff.
No, didn't I tell you he just barely saw the first one?
Yeah, sorry, I had stuff to do on my day.
He didn't even watch it all because we had 8 minutes left and we had to go.
Well, what I'm gonna say in terms of his handsomeness, I don't think it's necessarily
Air
that he was
quotes.
physically attractive. I think it's that
his
he was
charisma.
charming. That he had a way of using
No, that's
his...
not what they meant. They meant that he was literally like good looking.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's why
but
he lured
either
those
way,
women.
like when I was watching, because when I was watching it, there's like some clips of like the courtrooms and stuff, and it's showing him, like talking to the public or whatever. Yo, like the stuff he would say is kind of
It's
like,
crazy.
It was off. Like there was something off about him, and I
You
don't
can
understand.
tell,
yeah, like
yeah.
I don't understand why people couldn't see
You
it.
can tell by the way he talks, even in the
Yeah.
first episode.
Yeah.
Because they said like he made his life sound like
a story.
like a movie star's background. And it's true. The way that he sugarcoated everything and made everything like
I don't know,
look,
just the way he
nice.
interacted with people. Like even the part where he was like with the press.
Yeah.
And he was all like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna be a lawyer and I'm gonna be a damn good one at that or whatever. Like
He's
I don't
cocky.
know. There's something about him that I'm just like I would not hang out with that person.
Well, for one, he said it himself.
There's
like,
little signs about him.
Yeah.
He said it himself in the first episode. Like, I'm gonna come when he was in college.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna be cocky and I'm gonna be like, just vocalize saying how good I am.
Right.
I'm gonna be really good in my future.
But his whole thing, and I think that that's kind of what made it interesting and makes him stand out in my eyes, is that he was always trying to be a go-getter, but he would always fall short. And it was a consecutive thing. Like with everything he did, he would try to do his best, but he was always kind of like second place or falling behind.
I don't know if this was in the first episode or not, but they were saying how he was actually a loner and like he wasn't
First
good.
episode.
Yeah.
He
was a
wasn't
loner.
good. He wasn't good at anything.
He wasn't good.
Yeah,
at,
exactly.
He wasn't good
So
in the Boy Scouts.
He really wanted to try though.
He wasn't good at anything except
No, because
killing people.
one, he had a speech impediment.
Yeah.
Two, he wasn't really good at Boy Scouts, like not shooting the gun, tying the knots, not winning races and stuff like that. Not
Isn't that weird? He's not good at anything except for killing people.
well, I mean, you gotta be good at something.
I mean, I guess
He chose that, and he found his calling.
And escaping too.
Yeah.
I did. Okay, so
it's a terrible calling. I will say
let's
that.
put this on record. That coming into this, I did not know about this person.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You never heard of Ted Bundy?
I've heard of him, but I didn't know details like B here.
I did not.
It's because I like serial killers.
Yeah.
I only started seeing it when I started seeing the trailer for the one where Zac Efron's gonna be.
Right.
Oh, and then going back to that, the tweets that I would see is saying, "Oh, why would you make a movie like this?"
Because you have to show.
No,
the story.
I know, but like, why would you make a movie like this that romanticize him?
It's
if
not romanticizing
if like
him.
the people's parents, the victim's parents are still alive at this point. Like, how would you feel if like they made a movie about the murder?
But they're not romanticizing Ted Bundy's character. It's literally like showing
like
how he lived,
yeah.
how he was, how he came to be who he is. What was he's gone now.
Yeah.
How he came to be who he was, and how he got those women.
He was is it called illegitimate child?
So he was a bastard.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
He found out when he was 14.
Okay.
And they were asking him because
not his son's son. I mean his son. I'm sorry. I'm stupid.
He's not fully related to both of his parents?
His dad's son.
Yeah.
So his mom had an affair.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So he found the birth certificate when he was 14, and then like in the birth certificate it says father unknown.
Wow.
So apparently that's when like it really messed him up.
Well,
even though he said that it didn't.
And
his mom was gonna leave him at the fire station, but his grandpa was the one that said no, keep him. So his mom kept him.
Damn.
Well, that's pretty deep, but
yeah, and then apparently like his dad, I don't know if it was his dad or his granddad, that was the one that would like beat him or whatever. Oh, you know what's creepy? Oh, when they told his mom.
About what?
Like they made her listen to the tapes because she did not believe that he killed people,
right.
and they made her listen to the tapes. And after that, all she said was, "You want some apple pie and ice cream?" Like she disregarded the whole thing.
It's possible that. Well, here's the thing.
In denial about
but
it.
here's the thing.
But that's still creepy. Like the way, like I don't know, it was just creepy. Like,
I want to talk to you about how things normally work when it comes to people like this. It's usually based on genetics. For all we know, his mom might have something in his family because
it kind of shows.
You can
I was thinking that too.
Somebody down the line in his ancestry, in his family tree, somebody was murdering people or had murderous tendencies.
He was manic
depression.
Yeah, and then he was bipolar too.
Okay.
Yeah, they're one in the same.
Yeah, that's usually mental illness can usually like increase the chances of you committing such very technically when you're manic, you do things that you normally don't do. Like you're up and you're down, up and down.
And it's funny because they didn't know until I think after like the first court date or something like that.
Well,
when
most
they
people go
actually,
undiagnosed. When
they actually like someone was trying to represent him and he was like, no, you guys gotta check again because they weren't like.
Yeah, he says if you would, I hold on, let me see. I have it in here. I've jotted down a little bit. He said he was innocent and would be proven if his cases were looked over again. And he only says that like to be granted an interview. Like they'd be like, hey, we want to interview with you. He says, I will do an interview only if my cases are looked over again because it will prove I'm innocent. That's how you know how mentally ill this man was because he told himself, I'm innocent. I didn't do anything wrong. I know people like that.
But
like they're not murdering people, but they do stuff.
I hope they're not.
No, they're not. I know a few people.
A little concerned.
I know like one or two people like literally like I know and see every day. Almost one of them almost every day. The other one every day. But basically they'll say, "No, I didn't do that." No, they'll tell you a certain way, and it's true, and then you can actually catch it. Like if you know someone who's manic with like bipolar depression or manic bipolar mania and stuff like that, you can tell like off the bat when they're manic. Like I know someone like that. Like the way that he just talks,
night and day.
and he'll be like, talk. And he'll say stuff that makes no sense. Give him a few minutes. He'll do a flip. He'll also do a flip. He'll be like quiet. Suddenly he'll be like, so how are you? And then that's it.
Yeah.
It's like everything that happened before, it just went
and it'll come back around.
And then it'll come back around later, like something will trigger like that. Something always triggers them.
And then I also heard, okay, so I didn't know about him Or like I don't know. I never went too deep with any like serial killers or anything like
Girl,
that.
you need I want to find
There's
a
a
book.
ton of stuff.
I want a book that's detailed, like not detailed, but like the crimes and then how their psyche
It'd be
was.
good to-
what they
Isn't it?
murdered.
It's
Look around,
okay.
maybe.
You know, it's weird that Americans are really into their own serial killers. You know that?
You know why? Because we literally have like the highest like amounts of murders.
Well,
Right.
yeah,
We
but
have
then,
the
like,
most serial killers.
Yeah, but then like they get exposed, and then other people are trying to be the same. Because like after
That's
Ted,
another thing.
After Ted did his thing,
We had copycats.
he had copycats.
That's what I want the media to change. And I had this argument with Say before.
Yeah.
And then we
But
had
how would they change it?
we had a third party. It's easy to change it. You do not give them a name.
Oh, okay.
You do not show a picture of them. You just literally say this person committed a heinous crime. These are his victims because they're the ones who need to be shown. The victims
Yeah.
need to be shown. This person, serial killer number whatever, 240, committed this heinous act against
That's
these
true.
people. And then if you don't go into detail like how he did it
Yeah.
or say who they
Yeah.
are, show a picture, no one will do it
That's
because
true.
you're literally giving the murderer a spotlight.
Right.
Not only that, but I feel like going into details of how they murdered people,
That's worse.
like other people are gonna be like, "Well, I want to see how that looks like," or something, you know?
Yeah.
But see, okay, here's a question
Because
that I have for
sorry,
you. Go ahead.
because like if the people that are following, why are they following? Like, is it just because they want to be like this person, or because they have the same mindset?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at. So
So-
the whole fact that and I understand what your
They're
goal
probably
is.
like, "Whoa, okay, sorry." Before
Go
you do that, because I don't know where you're gonna take this conversation.
Okay.
So on the note of like the explaining like how they murdered, so in the court case he made the officer that found one of the girls that he bashed their heads in explain detail by detail how he found her like dead, like, and then like he made him repeat it like at least 4 times. That's crazy.
To like
Like-
reinstate what he
No,
would
because
say.
he was just so full of himself, and like
Right.
It's because
he was imagining like the whole
that's
crime scene.
yes, he made the cop repeat it because he was reimagining it, and that's literally his kick.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
man was
I
a
see.
necrophiliac. Okay?
Oh yeah, that too.
he had his way with them after he killed them.
That's
and
disgusting. Yeah.
That's how you know the man's sick. He literally manipulated the officer into telling him the details so he can. Whoa!
Pretty much get off.
That was because my pie is done.
Okay, go to what you're
Okay,
saying.
so what I wanted to say concerning that
Kinda
first
want
topic
pie.
here with
We
what
can go ahead and get pie.
would be brought up was that the fact that I agree somewhat on what she has to say here concerning the fact that trying to omit certain information on these killers helps to prevent copycat killers or people from being enticed. But what does that really say in terms of the public, that if you can't show certain things, you can't be completely honest because there's more people out there with these inherent tendencies
Yeah.
that aren't brought up until they're exposed to these certain
But
things.
even
you don't want to expose
Yeah,
But even
yeah.
people from other countries think that's so weird.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, we have a weird obsession with serial killers. I admit that
Yeah.
we do, but you know why? It's because we literally have the most serial killers in history.
like even okay, so when he was on his court day too, apparently it was like 4 days or something like that, and like it got to the point where it was just young women,
Right.
and so they interviewed
Yeah,
some of
like
them.
they saw the list. I saw it because he was working in the first episode. It said he worked for like the crime unit
Right.
to help solve crimes. A lot of the women that were missing were 18, 19, 20, 21,
yeah,
22.
but like
And-
in the actual court day, like
Well, some-
young women went to go see him in person.
A lot of women loved
and
him.
no, yeah, and the
Doki
weird,
Doki
I know,
loved him. Like, Ted Bundy,
know.
let me have your children.
but it was weird. That's the thing that was weird. Okay, so you know how there's this stigma how like white girls love serial killers and like they don't care that they kill people.
Right,
Okay,
right.
I saw it firsthand. He was the one that started it all because
He did start it.
They were interviewing them and they're like, "Why are you here?" And they're like giggling. "Oh, I
Ted
don't
Bundy
know."
fan club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were just like, I don't know. He's just so weird. Like I'm so interested. Like why are you?
Why can't you?
Well, see,
Why
the
can't you
people
like the
have
weirdest
an
people? Like go to a freaking
No.
like rock band and go.
Okay.
with the-
So-
that's why I'm saying people have an inherent.
I don't
touching
know.
on the same
I'm
topic
pretty
I was
sure,
bringing
like,
up.
if people listen to this, they're gonna hate me for it. But white people already have an obsession with like killing. They kill things for no reason, trophy hunting.
Right. Oh, I
Like
personally,
you're obsessed with people that are killing like.
I mean, colonization. What do you
I
say?
personally,
Yeah, that too. Sorry, I totally forgot about that. That was in my
oh my
head
God,
too.
we're gonna touch on some weird shit here.
It's not weird. It's history.
No, you're right. But okay, so
Like
speaking
they
on that,
literally eradicated like so many like not just humans but like
animals to
Yes.
extinction. Do you know how many
Lots of
animals went to
species, human or
extinction in my lifetime because of all these white people
Trophy
going out
hunting.
there and killing these animals for no reason?
okay,
Yeah.
still touching on that same subject. I personally know, and this is non-white, so I'm not gonna try and touch
Non-white.
it. Well, okay, I'm just trying to make it obvious.
I mean,
here by what
obviously,
I'm
it's
saying.
not
more
People that have
people.
that same fascination. There are people of other races,
God,
and I don't.
of
This
course.
is,
No, it's true.
well, no, but
Duh.
I'm saying.
But a majority
to
of the
interject,
people-
I
the
majority of
personally
people are
know.
white.
The majority of the people are white. Like
Yeah.
the majority
Like,
of the
no,
Ted,
duh.
Ted Bundy fangirls, white.
Yeah, like of course I'm not saying only white girls,
Yeah.
but the majority.
No.
Majority of is like
I just want to
white,
put it
the
out there
white.
that
Yeah.
B
That's-
almost said Ted Bundy. And all I imagine is Ted Bundy, but he has like two of those like party string things. Yeah, like he has like happy birthday.
Ted Bundy.
You're like, oh my god, it's my birthday. He's like, no, I'm gonna kill you now.
Oh, Ted Bundy, why?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
We shouldn't
sorry,
be joking about
sorry,
this. I'm so
Sorry.
terrible human being.
You're making fun of him, not the victim.
I'm still making fun of something terrible.
Okay.
Ted
Is that
Bundy.
really what you
Yeah.
wanted to cut
No,
us off
no,
at? Oh,
no.
it's like
You're the
Okay.
worst.
Continuing. So, do you believe that there is some sort of you're touching on race
I think
now,
it's
you're
just
touching on
genetic at this
genetics.
point with white people.
It's
Okay,
possible.
but okay, so that's what I was saying. Do you think that there is some sort of link in terms of
I just
race
said yes, genetics.
and genetic?
Yes, genetics.
Do you believe it
Well,
has
she-
anything to do
I
with
literally
upbringing?
No, because here's
I
the
like
thing.
how he's not even looking at you. You're responding to him.
But here's the thing.
Well, 'cause
I'm
I'm a
gonna
big-
answer this question.
Okay, go ahead.
They said the people who grew up around him and with him
Right.
said his upbringing was pretty decent. Granted, they're like it was like the family like you don't bother with because they didn't have a lot of money and stuff like that. But they dubbed him like the Leave It to Beaver family. Like, you know
Yeah,
how that is?
he couldn't have been any more
but he-
picture perfect.
The only thing is
basically.
like the family was just basically your average family. He had a mom, dad, siblings, friends. The only problem was just him himself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
his mom.
His mom probably too, but I'm just saying
She
that's-
just never got to that point.
Before we
Or
know it,
maybe
might-
she was a
for all we
serial
Underlying
know,
tendencies
it might
again.
also been the dad.
Yeah.
Because that's the factors that the dad is missing. There's no dad in the picture.
That's why when you gotta do donations, like sperm donations, you gotta write down
background check.
Yeah, and if you have like any mental like
Illness in your
issues,
family, you have to write that
Yeah,
down.
you have to.
So,
Well, do they turn you down right away for that kind
Yes.
of stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
because
have to
they
be like healthy and whatever.
very healthy. Like, do you have like diabetes in your family?
Yeah.
Do you have any mental illness in your family? Honestly, I think they're more worried about the mental illness because it's usually like 1 in 3
Yeah.
or 1 in 5.
There was also a case. I don't know like who it is, the family, whatever. But this man lied on his application and he sent like his sperm to the sperm bank.
Yeah.
And this woman, like multiple women, actually got his sperm, and like his children came out like pretty much like maniacs.
Really? All of
because he has a mental illness.
that he
Yeah.
didn't address.
Yes. You know what tripped me out? I'm gonna touch on that too. There was a rapist. I don't remember his name. There was a rapist who studied his victims. Like he would stalk them, study them. He would learn their habits, learn their family background somehow, and he would literally choose whether or not they were worthy to have his seed. Because this man was very intelligent. He was just a rapist. Because he wanted women to carry his children who would be very intelligent. And it's just weird to me how some people think in that way. To me,
Yeah.
that's like, what, sociopathic? Because he was very, like, he
Well,
was calculating.
right.
I
Well,
mean, he stalked them.
He was stalking them and taking, like, notes
Okay,
of, like,
his
their life.
method and how
he
he-
also, no, wait, he tracked their
Okay.
menstrual periods. That's how freaking detailed he was.
What the fuck?
He stalked them.
Yo, that's crazy.
He was a hella stalker.
He was
I
like
just-
listening into the bathroom stall. Like, hearing the crackles.
I'm
of the
very, I'm
pads
very
and
happy to
tampons.
know that there's a sound of a period happening.
I mean,
No,
plastic
I'm talking
wrap.
about opening
Oh.
the pad.
Or a
Boy, You
tampon.
obviously don't get periods. You don't know what we're talking
Nobody
about.
lives
Well,
with women.
I just heard the and I was like, what?
He
is
lives
that?
with-
Okay, yeah, I went. Yeah, let me
okay.
just like
Opening a
squirt
packet.
out my fucking blood out my vagina like this.
Like a ketchup packet.
For those, let me give you an image. It's like if I was wringing out a towel. Whatever that
It's,
is.
Okay.
dripping.
Yeah. Batman opening my pads and like
Okay.
tampons.
Well, okay,
It sounds like
then.
a bag of chips if you want
Oh,
to know.
okay.
That's true.
Especially with the echo of the bathroom.
Let's take note how most of these people who committed heinous crimes are men.
Hmm.
There are female serial killers.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, I think, was the first known, like, the
Didn't
word.
she kill like
She
30
killed
something?
a bunch of men. She was from Florida. I forgot her name.
I know who you're talking about.
But, yeah, she killed a bunch of people. She was, like, the first... America's first female serial killer.
Known, at least. 'Cause
No, because we would have known, like, in colonized days if there was a female serial killer. Because we knew that there were male serial killers back in the day.
Right.
Isn't it crazy how like everything was like whatever, but once serial killing started, everyone started locking their doors.
Yeah, everybody started flipping their shit. Oh, most places, yeah, they don't start locking their doors and still until heinous crimes happen. Here's
Yeah.
the thing: I read a book and then I watched a movie called In Cold Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Good book, good movie. Capote wrote it really well, and these guys, they're like, I think they committed crimes before, but they came into the town. And basically, this perfect picturesque family. The town never locked their doors. They didn't lock their windows. Didn't do anything. They got murdered. These people get murdered. Everybody be locking their doors.
Yeah.
Everybody be not trusting their neighbors no more.
Mm-hmm.
So people, when they start like bringing up the concept of like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go into politics a little bit really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
When they're like, oh, but you guys don't want a wall. And then they're like, don't you lock your doors at night? Don't you want to be safe? And it's just like, okay, the concept of locking our doors didn't happen until like back then. And then serial killers happen. Or murderers coming through town.
Right.
And it's
So you're
just
bringing
like-
the correlation between
Yeah.
heinous acts and now people having.
I don't like
try
when
to
people
take-
do the whole like you lock your doors and you don't want a wall. And it's just like, that's not the same concept. Because at least I have a roof. I have walls. And
Right.
Yeah.
But a wall is just...
The only thing that bothers me about that particular thing, the wall, is the fact that it's just on one side and not on the other side.
Right.
True story.
Like, if you really want a wall, put it on both sides. A border between Canada and a border between Mexico, not just between Mexico.
But here's the thing, the wall won't work because they can tunnel under, they can go over, they
I
can
mean,
take
they
a
already
boat.
got tunnels everywhere.
Exactly. So this,
And then, like...
this wall's gonna be expensive and worthless.
Okay, we're done.
We're done with the wall.
Done with the
Anyways,
wall.
literally and figuratively.
Not my
Anyway,
tax dollars. No.
accurate.
I have no say in that. They'll still take it away.
Yeah, they'll still take it. Anyways, back to Ted Bundy.
Okay.
Wait,
He was ugly. Just kidding.
besides that,
gonna come back from it after
he's
that
not
and kill
good
me.
looking to our standards because we're from a different timeline. Like, he's from the 70s.
I swear to God, there were finer men that I saw
During
in
that
Yes,
time.
I
Yeah.
agree, but beauty back then was different.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I have to agree
Yo,
with Jason on
there's
this.
this
I wouldn't.
one girl that he, one victim.
Uh-huh.
Yo, she was so pretty. Oh my God, I wanted to cry for her.
I mean, we had to cry for everybody because it's just a
Yeah.
terrible thing that happened to
She
them.
was so
Right.
beautiful. I was like,
They were all young. They all aspired to be
Bro.
something. A lot of them were women in college.
yeah,
Yeah,
So that's
he
why.
definitely had a type.
That's why the whole like Me Too movement right now is important
Mm-hmm.
because the majority of these like terrible crimes are against
Right.
women.
Right.
Majority of victims, women. Like Ed Gein, if I remember correctly. Ed Gein, he killed women.
Mhm.
He skinned them, and he wore their skin
Ooh.
to prance around like a woman.
What the fuck?
That's
Because he had a mommy issue too.
Oof.
Yeah, like his mom wouldn't let
See,
him like,
I don't know
go out
anything
and do
about serial
anything.
killers, so.
Yeah, but
It's definitely a new topic for me, but
really?
I mean,
Oh my
it's-
god!
Damn, calm down.
Seriously,
I don't touch too
goddamn.
much on it. Like,
Well, I have a friend that was really interested in it, but I just never really.
I've been interested since I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
I've been
Borderline-
watching crime shows since I was like a
borderline
kid.
concerning, but okay.
Don't be.
Nah. She's too much like me. I can't say that.
See, she and I think are like, there's nothing to worry about. Or is there?
Crazy too. No,
Right? She's like, but I might be
All
crazy.
my friends are crazy.
Joke.
I'm probably gonna die. This
Maybe
is a
it's a
call
joke.
for help. It's not a joke.
It is a
Please,
joke.
they're locking the door. Somebody.
It's like, send help now!
A whole theme song just starts
Yeah.
playing in the background.
We'll put on our
Dang.
technical difficulties.
Be right back. I'm getting murdered.
Oh,
Yeah.
another crazy thing is how he had an audience when he got the death penalty, when he died.
That's no. A lot of people.
That itself was kind of crazy. Like,
you do know they do that, right? When you're put to death, they have a room for the people in there.
Yeah.
No, not in there.
Oh,
Like,
you mean,
outside.
Also, you had people waiting for him.
Like, think about it. Okay, so
Did they show it on national TV?
well, they were showing the crowd.
I'm sure
So
we could Google
it was like,
So that means there's just people that wish they were
listen.
in there.
The
Right.
road was like this.
Yes.
The prison was on that side. Obviously, like, the higher ups or whatever.
What
got
if
to
that
see him
was-
die. On this side, there were like newscasters or whatever.
What if that was Ted Bundy's fan club?
Well,
That's
it
legit.
looked like a festival. Like, there were so
That's
many
probably his fan
people.
club.
There was people selling like t-shirts like get that chair, whatever.
Oh my
Okay, so
God.
he went
And
down.
then, like, they
he
had
was put down,
pins.
he was killed via chair.
Put down
Yeah.
famously. Yeah.
And everyone
He was
was
fried
already
chicken.
everyone. Yes.
Oh, wow.
And then there was like signs
Insult to
like
fried
saying
chicken.
negative stuff. Like, they didn't like him.
Well, I mean, he killed a bunch of young
I
women.
know, I know.
Of course, they didn't like him.
But the way they put it in the movie, like, it kind of made it seem like, oh, that's kind of a little bit weird too. Like, I know, I get it. He did really bad stuff.
But
And you probably are like relieved that he's like
Gone.
that
Yeah.
he's gone. But like, that's a little bit weird too. Like,
you get to see
being
kind of
out
those
there,
tendencies.
getting drunk with your friends.
I'm just telling you, the
yelling
only
at him.
reason why it was such a big deal was because
he was the first one.
Well, he was a first like serial killer that in modern time.
Yeah,
For all we know, like he said it's possible.
they
Right.
included
Before.
Charles Manson.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Manson
They
was,
included him like a couple times in the series too.
Yeah, they did make mentions of him, like how he was because he was sick, mentally ill. That he met, but they compare him and Ted Bundy because he had the same charms as Ted Bundy. Because Ted Bundy was able to lure these women,
Right.
make them feel safe, and get away with murder for a good while. Charles Manson was the same way in how he convinced all these people to do all these terrible crimes on his behalf. That's why he never killed those people, but he's been in prison his whole life because he convinced these other people to kill for him.
Sounds like the plot to Psychopaths.
But that's why he was in prison for life and the others have been released. Because he was the mastermind behind all those murders. He basically like brainwashed these people to
he's
kill for him.
Psychopaths?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we talking about the anime?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's literally what the whole situation. You know how like
I have to rewatch it. It's been a
it's
while.
the guns that can't kill you because the guns like
Well, it's basically
track down.
Yeah, tracks down the
so they
criminal,
so they
violence.
never were able to kill him, but he was the one that was sending people to do all the crimes.
Right.
So they could never put him in prison.
Yes, that's
Because
right.
he
That one
indirectly
guy.
did everything.
Yeah.
else.
That one guy, yes, he got all these people to do it,
Yeah.
and he never was caught because the guns
Because
never
the gun
triggered.
said no. He, never
He didn't
killed
do anything
anyone.
wrong. Yeah, but that's why he got put away for life. So basically, Ted Bundy and he are like on the same scale. The only
Right.
difference is Ted Bundy actually physically killed these people. So that's why they mention
They mentioned
Manson
him
in
like
the show.
twice.
Yeah, they mentioned Manson a few times because of that reason.
Yeah.
But Ted Bundy was psychotic. You got some real sick mofos out there.
Yeah.
Here's what I recommend for anybody who's out there listening. Anybody who's into the serial killers and stuff like that.
No, it's kidding.
Stop.
Snarled is a YouTube channel.
Right.
And they have this segment called The Dark Five. Rachel, bless her soul, I love her to death. She makes these dark fives and she mentions serial killers quite often.
Right.
So I would recommend watching her. I think I sent you a few videos. I haven't sent you anything. Would you be interested?
Yeah,
I mean, she kind of goes into some detail, but then at the same time, she'll kind of like reel back.
I'm down.
She also does like ghost stories and spooky
You
stuff.
have my interest.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll send you some videos.
Okay.
The ones that I personally like.
We'll come back with more content.
Because that's where I mentioned like Ed Gein. Like Ed Gein is because she mentioned him. Like I think he was number one on one of her top fives.
He was number one.
He was number one. I mean, because what he did was messed up. Like I
Yeah.
told you, he killed the women
Yeah.
and he skinned them. Pulled a Buffalo Bill.
Okay.
Is that it, right? Buffalo Bill. He basically did that. He wore their skin to be a lady.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ted Bundy was pretty crazy because he was like the first like modern day serial killer that you can like basically like put on TV and
Well, because it was like something new, you know.
Well,
And the fact, okay, so I didn't know about him, right? So like going to that documentary, I didn't know anything
you
about
went
him.
in blind, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did not expect them to kill all across the country.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I did not know he
was a
that.
traveling murderer, man.
And that he was missing for 40 days.
Mm-hmm.
Like what the heck?
FBI's most wanted. He went missing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He
Okay.
He committed to the role of murderer.
Going back though to not giving them the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Like how would you do that if like let's say he goes missing and you're trying to find him? Like you obviously got to put his picture out there.
Well,
Oh yeah, of course.
that's true. But
Or do you mean
But
like?
see-
But it is different. Sorry, I just
You're
answered my
fine.
own question. But it is different though when like it's happening during and you put up his pictures
Yeah.
rather than like afterwards and
Yeah.
still like showing his picture, right?
Right.
Yeah, because when they say like if it's a big like court trial, it lasts depending on like how bad it is. It can go from a few days
Right.
to a few weeks to a few months, depending on the time frame. You would be seeing his face more if they keep showing it on TV.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. So say he goes missing and you want to look for him, you would only post the photo up like not that often, because then that's what okay, this is what he looks like. This is his name. Please find him. And then as soon as he's found, that's it.
But
Just wipe away his memory.
you're talking about during a time when there was not a lot of collaboration between different police districts and stuff, and a lot of different like.
Oh,
in
they had fax
Yeah,
machines.
exactly.
Yeah, I
well,
know.
I mean, remember in
think
that
they did.
the-
Also,
No, I don't
from the
think they
first
did.
episode that I saw, I
Can I
remember
also
them
put on
saying,
record, fuck the people that saw him at the beach and then they brought him in for questioning, and 7 out of 8 people saw him and said it wasn't him because he looks like the type of person that wouldn't do that.
Well, that was the mindset back then.
That's what I'm saying.
They'll look at you and they'll be like, "Oh,
Like
you would never do such a
saw
thing."
him and you're saying that it wasn't him. Like okay.
No, but that's the thing of like back then. Back then, you trusted people based on how they look. It's called
I
stereotyping.
guess, yeah.
You look at them and they're like, "He's a clean cut white man. I don't think he'd do such a terrible crime."
but that's kind of.
But
where,
then that's the
yeah,
best
that's
person
to do such things. Yes.
automatically assume that a clean cut person who talks well, like white male and stuff like that, probably killed somebody at one point. Probably. Or maybe thought about it. That's.
I mean, again, you're talking
I don't
about.
trust
You're
anybody.
talking about tendencies that people have, whether they come to light, whether they act on them, is completely different. But
Well, yeah.
I
Because
think-
then everybody would be a murderer.
yeah, exactly.
I'm not
Then
saying that
now
everybody
we
is.
have like psychological thrillers that makes you not even want to talk to people.
Those are the best kind.
strangers, yeah.
Keeps you home. Keeps
yeah,
you safe.
it does. Makes you a hermit, but I love it.
Unless the people who are
Unless they
with
come
you-
to your house and
unless they
and
come to
kill
your
you.
house or it's you're related to someone.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, he was a real messed up person, and he talked too well. But the problem is when it comes to how he talks, in this day and age, you can pinpoint, oh, he's got something wrong with him. Back then,
It was kind of-
mental illness
yeah.
was not
That
a
is
big
true,
thing.
too.
That's why it was harder to say yes, it was him.
Well,
he
and
did all
remember
that
as
stuff.
well, he also did have he worked for a time in the
He worked
criminal.
in.
yeah,
He worked.
He
I
was
told I
involved-
mentioned that
He was
ma-
involved in
He involved in that, so it made him less fire on his trail.
because he was smart. He knew how the system worked. He
I
knew
lied
the
to
lack
you
of
guys.
communication.
Only for like 2 hours.
I lied to
I mean,
you
2
guys.
hours.
I
2
do
hours.
know of one, and that's just the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna say everybody knows the Zodiac
Yeah.
killer.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, I have no clue.
It's Ted Cruz.
That's the only reason why I even heard about it.
Fucking Ted Cruz.
And I think there is a movie on it or something.
Jesus.
Yes,
so
there was a
fixated on
movie.
I saw it, but I don't remember where.
Every
I saw
time I
it.
see Ted Cruz on TV, it's the Zodiac killer.
Literally no way he would be dead by now.
It's
But,
true. They said that most likely the Zodiac killers are passed away, and they said that I forgot who, but they
That's
said
so weird how they never found him.
they said they might have found him, but he's dead.
probably gotten
He's
away,
already
yeah.
dead.
Well, not yet, but I mean like during the
Yeah, because they said
Was he before or after? Said
after.
after. Okay.
Oh
wait.
wait,
Yeah.
60s,
No, is it?
60s. I think it was the 60s. Let me check. Hold on. Let me look him up. Zodiac killer. The Zodiac killer, because he made a movie.
Yeah, they did.
I seen the documentaries a few times. The Zodiac killer. The Zodiac killer is the pseudonym of an unidentified serial killer who operated in Northern California from at least the late 1960s to the early 1970s. So he was before Ted Bundy's killing, because I think his first killing was in 1971. So the killer's identity remains unknown. That's why people were probably fixated on Bundy, because they couldn't find the Zodiac killer. So as soon as Bundy started killing, racking up his numbers, then they just became fixated on him because they had a face to the killer. That's why they probably wanted to see him fry.
Damn, the Zodiac killer was smart.
Zodiac killer was pretty smart.
Basically giving them clues of how to find him, but they couldn't crack the code.
He made his own codex. They said there was a few people who were accused of being the Zodiac killer. The one they think they say like most likely it was I think was a retired was he military or a worker? I don't know, but
because he would cover his face, no?
He covered his face, but he would send letters, so they would try and track. Like they think they try to get fingerprints.
Oh, okay. Because
he would send the letters.
He would
to
like
newspaper.
cover himself up when he killed, no?
He covered his hands and his face, and he only had like one survivor. He didn't kill all his victims, but neither did Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy, there was a survivor too.
I was just gonna say that's probably where he messed up.
Yeah, he left one lived.
If she were to die, they probably would have never found him.
That's usually how it goes. You leave one alive, you risk being caught.
Yeah.
But with the Zodiac killer, he covered his face and hands, so they couldn't really pinpoint him. So that was one way. That's the reason why they didn't find him. It's because he was smart and he covered everything up. Unlike Ted Bundy, where he just like...
They all have different methods and how
but he wasn't...
Yeah.
Ted Bundy
but you're
wasn't
talking
that smart.
about, like, just because they're serial killers doesn't mean that they all share, like, a very high intelligence.
I mean, no one said that, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's how his brain interprets it. I can't argue with that.
Like how I have to be roasted in every comment, but okay.
Roasted. Anybody smell that? Anybody smell that bacon?
But okay. What other notes do you have? Or
let me see. Do I have anything? Grew up in a group family. Wanted to be a lawyer or politician. Was bullied. Socially awkward. Trying to be who he wasn't.
Imagine being his girlfriend and then finding out that he was a killer.
He had a girlfriend.
Dodged a freaking bullet.
He had a girlfriend. He had multiple girlfriends, but his first girlfriend was it ended because she.
I feel like
she was high maintenance.
Yeah.
Low key, I think she was.
That's when he killed because of
after
revenge.
she dumped him.
Yeah.
I'm thinking because when he
if
was
anyone, if I know there's gonna be stupid people out there that'd be like, it's her fault.
No, you can't blame. That's not how it works.
His actions are his own.
Yeah, that's not how it works. It says it ended because she was high maintenance. That's what I put. She was high maintenance.
He started feeling bad about himself.
He said he blacked out during the summer and remembered nothing. So that
he like blocked it.
I think it was mentally it broke him. Like damn, this woman that the first girlfriend, the one that he invested in, the one that he cared about, dumped him, and then he blacked out.
Yeah, but she was too high maintenance to the point where he started feeling insecure about himself.
Yeah, because she's like,
because she wanted him. Yeah,
she's like, okay, you're trying to be a lawyer. When are you gonna get into be an actual lawyer? Because he failed, and that's why she dumped him. Because no money. He was a poor boy. And he also heard a voice. And it told him what to do. Yeah. So possible schizophrenia.
Yeah. Let's
add to that. So bipolar, bipolar mania, hardcore insecurities, depression. Let's add schizophrenia. He had an obsession with porn.
When is the movie coming out?
I don't know. He had an obsession with porn and eventually associated sex and women with violence.
Yeah.
I think that happened in his teens.
Someone told me, I forgot who, but someone told me that the one thing that serial killers have in common is the color brown and porn.
Yeah, porn
and the color brown.
I don't know about the color brown.
Supposedly, the color brown. I forgot where I saw that information, but the porn one is
what? Color brown.
I like porn.
Color brown.
Yeah, but you're not obsessed with it.
I really like porn. No.
He likes anime titties.
Oh god, that's not on the same. That's not even close.
That's
to the same realm.
It's because no. What they meant by porn is mostly they dabble into hardcore BDSM, rapey
torture,
porn. Yes,
and
torture,
they think it's okay.
rapey. And then they associate women and sexual violence.
Yeah.
That's why he raped the women and killed them.
One part that I kind thing that made me feel uncomfortable about the documentary was when they were talking about that.
Yeah.
Because they put, like, the first scene was, like, nothing but showing, like, women's skirts and stuff like that.
Right.
And they're just like, oh, we know why they choose their victims. And then, like, basically saying, like, oh, it's because of the way they dress.
Yeah.
No.
Like, at least that's how I interpret that, like, scene.
It's possible, but here's the thing.
I know, but the way they made that scene, they made it seem like it's because of, like, them wearing really short skirts.
No, that's not how it happened. And it's just like,
why the heck? I know, but I
know, but that's how you associate it. Yes, I know.
That's bad. Like, that's a bad way of putting it in the documentary. You know,
right.
Yes.
Like,
they should have like at least clarified it. It's like we're not saying
that
was because of how they dressed.
Yeah. Because, like, literally, while they said that, so they put, like, the porn scenes at first, and then they, like, skipped to that part where they just, like, literally, like, recorded women walking, but just, like, showing their ass and, like, zooming into that while they're saying that. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's not even because of that. They're just, like, crazy.
Okay,
like,
but I'm just going to say this now. When it comes to documentaries, you also have to be careful.
Yeah.
Because for all we know, that's not what the person intended to say.
Yeah.
But documentaries usually do that to, like, get emotions out of people.
Yeah,
I only know that because of the Lolita, I forgot her name, but I watched her on YouTube, and her major is in film and documentaries, and she said that because she mentioned how on My Strange Addiction that they kind of trick people into because she's like,
making
Lolitas are not living dolls, and it's to say like the people who do documentaries trick the person into saying no, not Lolitas, living dolls. Like, they'll trick you into saying certain things. For all we know, they didn't mean it like that. Yeah. But whoever did like the editing, interpretation. Yeah. But whoever did the editing put it over at the perfect time to get an emotion out of you, and it got something out of you. It low-key offended you.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, obviously that's not the reason. Like, literally the thing before was talking about how they associated women as objects, but this does not really necessarily mean, obviously. Right.
Most likely.
And I'm just saying, like, now in the day and age, we always have that thing where it's all like, oh, it's because of what women wear. So it's just like,
no, because some people who get raped don't wear short skirts and have their titties hanging out. Yep. Exactly. Some of them are literally wearing, like, sweatpants and a t-shirt. Anyways.
And I heard if you wear your hair up, it's most likely you'll get raped.
Wow.
Our hair's up!
Because it's easier to, like, pull onto your hair. Like, if it's in a ponytail, it's, like, easier to just, like,
it's true.
Snatch it off.
It's true, because that's,
It's that, and then if you're looking at your phone and not paying attention to your
distractions, of course.
I'll just let you know, I walk my dog at night with headphones on. Am I scared that's going to happen to me? No. I will tell you why. Because I could take down anybody if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I ain't scared of no man.
True.
I'm taller than most men here.
Shout out to all the short Mexican boys.
That's why I can't date them. Don't be crying.
I'm not crying.
What are you, 5'3"?
Maybe.
Small boy. I'm 5'9".
I'm 5'3", but I'm a girl.
All these smalls in my life.
Okay. We're purebreds.
Purebreds. Yeah, miniature ponies.
Damn.
That's cute. What the fuck?
I don't know if that's a compliment or if I should be offended.
Hey, miniature ponies are cute.
Well, I mean,
they're also
you're the one that's offended.
They also can be used as service animals.
Yeah, you're right. That is actually a thing.
But you're not gonna be a service animal.
No.
He'd probably be too derpy of a miniature pony to be a service animal.
He'd be a meme. He'd be a meme of a pony with his tongue sticking out. With his tongue sticking out.
His tongue. But I'm the service animal. Okay.
Yeah. No, you're the derpy meme.
Oh, damn. These are my friends here.
Hi.
Hello. Anyways.
Damn.
Ouchies.
I need to watch the whole documentary. But there's another one I want to watch called Abducted in Plain Sight. And that's the one, I think my friend told me it's about a man who weaseled his way into this family.
Right.
He... Fucking weasel.
He basically sexually assaults the teenage daughter, somehow convinces the mom and the dad something cultish or whatever, and he's basically boning the mom, he's boning the dad, so it's basically boning everybody in the house. And then I guess when he was, I don't know, getting arrested or like they were on him, the mom was like, he's a fine guy, and I'm just like, what's wrong with these people? Because on Facebook, people had their pictures. And they're like, well, at least your parents aren't these people. And I was like, who the hell are these people? And then I put 2 and 2 together, and I was just like, oh, they're the parents of that one girl who let a nasty ass rapist into their house and was okay with it because he somehow manipulated them to let him stay. I was like, damn, those are these some weak-minded people. So I'm gonna watch that because I want to see how messed up this guy really was.
Fuck.
That's another topic
one of the
there.
things that I actually really like watching was Kid Killers. I would randomly watch that.
Did I watch that?
I think that's what it's called. But
Killer Kids.
Killer Kids.
I watched that one.
Thing.
Yes.
I just said it backwards.
Yeah. Because kid killer means it's a person who's killing kids.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Killer kids is kids who kill.
Yeah,
you know the one that creeped me out the most?
What?
Was this 5-year-old girl from Britain. She murdered her 4-year-old neighbor.
Fuck.
Damn.
Was she 5? I don't just know. She was a kid, murdered her 4-year-old neighbor, stabbed him, sodomized him, and left him in like an abandoned house.
That's
the girl was, and she bragged about it.
What?
She went to school and bragged about it. And she even wrote it in like her journal and diary, like I killed the neighbor boy, blah, blah, with scissors, blah 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 blah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and I was like, this little girl's a fucking psycho. And
was she the one that was adopted?
I don't remember.
Because I know there was one that
they
was adopted.
I don't know. I think she had a heart-shaped face. I don't know. There was a few freaking weird-ass psycho British kids.
Because I remember listening to one. No. Oh, crap. I don't know.
There's a few killer kids.
It's because, there's like a lot with like similarities. Because I think one of them was adopted. And then another one I saw, they were twins. But one of them was just like completely evil.
Yeah, there's usually, sometimes one twin's evil and the other one's not. Yeah. Like a cliche. I have an evil twin. Yeah. Or sometimes the twins end up both being evil. That's why I watched a show called Evil Twins.
Oh, okay.
On Investigation Discovery. Oh my god. That's my shit right there. That and Ghost Adventure.
Shout out to Zach.
Woo! Just letting you know, the episode you wanted to watch is gonna come on in like 10 minutes.
Oh shit! How long do we have left?
We're at 47 minutes.
47? That's okay, but we'll cut it. my paranormal show.
We're gonna cut them.
It's because they have some crazy ass shit. Like it was the first episode.
And I ate pie, so.
Pie
she wants
good.
pie. And then the last episode we watched. Shut the fuck up. The last episode I watched, they had the one where they said the earth was crying. And it made some crazy ass noise, and it sounded like a whale, but it was heard throughout the whole city. And it says this sound has been recorded throughout the whole world. So they like Britain, British Columbia, the Philippines, Singapore. Not at the same time, different times. I want
to hear it.
I don't know if I could pull it up on my TV, but it was some crazy shit. It scared the shit out of me. It sounded like some freaking World War Z bullshit.
Yeah. I'm just getting scared thinking about it, bro.
The guy actually compared it to World War Z, and it's just like, you know what those machines sounded like? It sounds like that. And I was like,
that's some scary stuff.
Also
I've
the
never
girl,
seen World War
the
Z.
girl who does, she's from Snarled 2. Her name's Sapphire. She's the one who I played her podcast, Something Scary.
Right.
She's on that show. She's actually one of them who comments because they did one about Ouija boards, and I think that you saw that one and you're like, let's do it one day. Fuck. And I'm just like, I ain't touching no damn Ouija boards.
No.
But Sapphire, she says like once you learn how to use it, she says it's not that bad. But I'm just like, knowing this person's dumbass. Probably would keep the gate open on accident. But did you close the gate? Yeah, I closed the gate.
No offense.
Never said go by.
No offense, though. They always get attached to people that are super emotional and negative.
Yeah, because they're the easiest.
Yeah.
Then,
so you would,
hey, demons,
you would be possessed.
It's me, your boy.
It's me, your boy.
Yeah, I'm here.
We're gonna be like,
please
shut up, say.
Please don't eat my ass, spirits.
Please don't eat my ass.
But yeah, they always go for the weak ones.
Damn, she's calling you weak.
Well,
out of all three of us, you are, though.
What the fuck?
I feel like it's you than me than her.
Emotionally, I'm very strong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Being a rock doesn't make you strong.
I'm the
Against
Rock.
spirits, yeah.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Be the Rock Johnson.
This is why the ghosts
love
don't
him.
bother me at home anymore.
Because you're friends
Anyways.
with them now?
No.
Oh.
She ain't got any emotional problems.
But you do.
Because I haven't been home, that's why.
You're like, you can have the house.
They
I'm
they
cool.
already like shriveled up and died again.
Damn.
They turn into raisins.
They turned into like
Ghost raisins.
little mini clouds. They all evaporated.
Serial killers!
They got bored of you.
But okay, so in summary, Ted Bundy is ugly.
I like how she's so focused
She-
on his
every
look.
time we have a
She's
recap,
like-
she has
She's
focused
like,
on
they
that.
say he was handsome, but she's like,
She's like,
I say he's an ugly
Jess is
bitch.
disappointed. She wants her virtual money back.
She wants her Netflix money back.
Netflix, if you're hearing this.
Oh,
They gonna return
So,
that shit.
No.
he
they're
ugly. He killed multiple women
What, 30 something?
Mm-hmm.
across the country.
Yeah.
He escaped jail twice.
Yeah, that was crazy. It tripped me out that he escaped jail.
He said he practiced jumping from his bunk bed to the floor, like in the cell.
He was,
And then-
he never skipped leg day.
Nope.
And then he calculated how high of the jump it was.
Well, he was
He was on the
smart.
second floor.
Right.
And then after that, he calculated the distance that he had to run.
Right.
E equals MC squared. A squared plus B squared
Okay.
equals C squared.
The first time he escaped, that was their fault because they gave him books. So he like stacked them up and got like left through the ceiling. So that was like their fault. But then the second time, well, that was also their fault too because they let them open the windows. Like what the fuck?
That's why they put bars on
Yeah.
windows, or they keep them locked. You
I mean,
can't
there's
open
always
them.
a first for everything. Imagine if Ted Bundy.
Bundy.
If Ted barely, like, let's just say there was no serial killers up until this point.
Yeah,
Imagine
Well,
that shit.
Yeah.
I just.
He's establishing a whole new
That'd be
It's a whole new
crazy.
genre,
yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
crime for them to have to.
Maybe because of that, we
investigate.
wouldn't even have, like, obviously technological advances happen, like, whatever.
When it comes to
But, like-
forensics, yes.
yeah. Like, after that, like, they just started adding a whole bunch of
Well, it's
shit.
just gonna make it harder and harder. For,
And whoever, the guy that thought about, like, his bite mark, that shit was smart as fuck, and that's why they caught him. Because, like, when he broke into the sorority house and killed, like, 4 women,
Mhm.
he bit one of them.
Yeah.
And the guy thought, oh, let's just try to do the
Match the
dental.
dentals.
Records.
yeah. And then he matched them up, and it was the same bite mark. Like,
Stupid bitch.
that guy was smart for that. Like, because
Mhm.
they didn't have that type of
Well, most
like,
most
investigation.
detectives would think.
Yeah, you have
that-
to be.
Well,
very-
now, yeah.
Yeah.
But like back then, since everything was new, like they didn't know, and he was like the
Well, he
first
was a
one
smart
to do
cookie.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, thanks to him.
paving the way,
Yeah, he was probably like paving. Yeah, like Jake.
Yeah.
like Say said, paving the way.
Saving me.
Yeah.
But it's true though. There's always going to be those kind of events where every serial killer's and I hate to say it in this way, might bring something new to the table.
No, you're right though.
And that gives
We're gonna bring
detectives
something
and
new,
forensic
something
work
grody.
something for them to have
Something
to
scandalous to
invent
improve.
technology or find a way to recap or catch up to this, and there henceforth is going to make it harder.
Why do
for
you
any
think I'm
future-
like hella against 3D printing guns?
That's wild.
Because there's no serial number on them, and you cannot.
They're not traceable.
You're not
Yeah.
not traceable.
At all.
That's why I'm totally against it. So anyone who's for it, fuck you.
Okay. Yeah, we're going there.
I don't give a shit.
Don't do that. It's bad.
I don't give a shit.
I didn't even think about that.
That's condone. That's basically just giving like every person who's got anger
Piercing.
problems with a gun
That's true.
just a green light to shoot someone and toss it and go.
Yep.
yeah.
So I'm hella against 3D printing guns. I'm not
I
against.
never even think of
Not
thought
against
about that.
stripping people of their guns. I'm just against like the whole 3D printing gun. That's
Maybe
stupid.
if they only put it in like certain corporations or something, not
No,
necessarily.
I mean, but
in,
things-
like,
Well, because the
Things
guy,
for people.
well, they first this guy was gonna post everything. Like he was gonna post the blueprints
Schematics. Yeah.
on the internet.
Oh.
That's what, and then the court said no, because of the reason that they would not be able to trace the guns back if a crime was committed with them.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not to mention, if you make a gun at home out of like 3D printed material, might or might not backfire, especially if you're not good with your 3D printer. Imagine that.
Yeah, you're talking about mechanisms that have to handle things like that. I don't know. That's just crazy.
The only thing is like they're like single shot guns.
Yeah.
But it's just like still one shot is all it takes to kill someone.
Yeah.
Hella
If you
against.
get it in the right spot.
Yep.
Yeah. Right between the eyes.
Okay.
It's high noon.
So,
serial killers are bad. Okay.
summary. Ted is ugly. No, just kidding.
Oh my god.
It was just, that's crazy. Like, I don't know.
Ted Bundy is
Not Ted Bundy.
no I said
No.
Budley.
It's Ted Bundy.
Ted Fundley. Ted Budley.
Ted Bud Light.
Ted Bungie.
Bud Light.
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bungie.
He jumped for it.
He jumped for
Oh,
it. Yeah.
God.
Oh, you're right. Ted Bungie.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Anyway.
Ted Bundy.
Ted
Oh,
Bundy.
God.
Ted Bundy is actually I'm waiting for this adult cartoon to come out called Has Been Hotel.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry you automatically assumed it was porn.
No.
Wait,
I was
no,
waiting
no,
for her to
no,
finish
that
the sentence.
way you-
I thought it was
thought
going to
about-
be a cartoon about serial killers.
Oh.
No, it's an adult. Well, it's an adult cartoon about denizens of hell and how they try and get redemption.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like later on. But anyways, there's like this one little picture you see, and it's just like it has, somebody drew Ted Bundy, and I forgot what it says, but it was Ted Bundy holding up a plate, and it's
Right.
just like intestine. No,
Oh,
wait, no, was it
no.
Ted Bundy? No, it was, who was it? Somebody made a serial killer into a poster in the show.
Right.
Who was the cannibal? God dang it! It was a cannibal. Who was the cannibal? Hold on. Was it him? No, wait. Wait.
Okay. We're waiting.
Who was it? Jeffrey Dahmer.
Dahmer.
He was. Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy were also in South Park.
Oh, God. I don't watch South
But okay,
Park.
South Park would probably make it really funny.
They went. I forgot what happened. They ended up in hell.
Oh.
But Jeffrey Dahmer
All right,
was in
well.
a cooking show. You
So,
should
like-
watch Has Been Hotel.
It's not out yet, but yeah.
No, but they got live streams.
Mm-hmm.
Like cleanup art. But anyways, serial killers are interesting.
For you.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding.
Is it because I'm white?
No. It is interesting, I guess. I
I'm
mean,
white.
I fell asleep between. I fell asleep.
You
for the
have to
second
take a break
episode.
between these documentaries because they can be a little taxing.
Oh no, it's because I was eating, and after I eat, I tend to fall asleep.
Oh my
Because you had
god.
that carbo load and took a nap.
Was it even carbs or was it she just being a little fat panda?
Yeah, fat panda.
That's okay.
Okay.
But yeah.
Alright.
It was exciting talking about serial killers with you guys.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
don't
we'll have more
normally,
to touch on
I
once
don't
we get
normally
more.
talk about serial killers with people because not a lot of people are into that.
I mean, I think it's a fascinating topic just because of the psychology that goes
Yeah.
behind
That's the only reason
the
why I was
person
ever
and like
into
their
it.
degradation of their mind.
I might not be that
brings
great
them
at
from.
psychology, but I know those people. They're interesting.
She's like, I'm good with the people killing other people part. There's that. I got that part covered.
No, that's not it.
Alright,
But
well,
still.
Yeah.
You hung him up on the door.
I think we can.
We're good.
Call it
We're
here.
good, yeah.
Surprisingly, even though we went off a few tangents, but
Yeah, that's
it's
about
okay.
right,
That's
yeah.
normal.
We kept it in the realm.
That's
of
a
serial
normal
killers.
conversation with people
Yeah.
that I have. It's just keep.
We,
For
I
any-
feel like we always say this at the end. Well, we kind of trailed off. Like, okay,
yeah, we
yeah.
always do. Yeah.
I should just stop saying
For
that.
anyone
It
who
doesn't
has any
matter.
sort of like feedback or comments, if you guys
For
wanna,
what?
I'm just saying, in
Shout
case
out
if
to
anybody,
Sweaty.
yeah, wants to like have any interaction or
Shout out to
respond
Sweaty.
on our
Well,
Twitters.
They can.
Our Twitters. Do we even put our Twitters up?
No, I mean that Twitter.
Well, I mean,
I
someone
meant,
forgot to put up last time.
damn.
We're a mess.
Alrighty then.
Thank you all for listening
Well,
in.
oh, I was gonna say good night. Well,
Yeah.
good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Good
day.
night.
Good
Good day.
afternoon.
Good evening.
Good night. I mean, good evening. Good dawn. Good
Good
sun
donk.
rising.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.